Welcome back to YouTube with the boys, where the boys discuss YouTube. Okay, so right now it's just me, singular, and so because of everybody's busy schedules and because staying on a schedule with multiple people is hard, what I think we're gonna do is like 1 week, it's gonna be me, singular, talking about something, kind of just chilling, and then the week after that it'll be a podcast with at least me and one other person, and we'll go from there and see if it ramps up. Maybe it'll ramp up to a level where it's fun, and maybe me and a friend will be doing one every week. But right now, I'm just gonna do it this because everybody's kind of busy with work and summer and stuff. So we'll just start off with this, and we'll see how it progresses from there. So one thing before I start kind of getting into fully is I had a revelation the other day about gaming YouTubers, and this is it's a funny revelation. I think it'll be fun to kind of use this in the future to rate other gaming YouTubers when we talk about them. Not rate them, but put them in a category. So what I've realized is there are three definite categories of gaming YouTubers. What you have is gameplay oriented, where they basically kind of focus, their main focus is their gameplay. So you go to watch them win games, hit shots. I mean, they can be funny too, but main there is gameplay. Then you got the combination of both, where they kind of do some funny things, kind of do some bits, but also play the game. And lastly, you just kind of have like fully reliant on humor. You go over these guys to not to like watch their sick shots, but to pretty much just laugh. I mean, again, they could still be good at the game too, but you will go over there to watch them to laugh. Okay, so to give you an example of how the scale works, I'll use 3 YouTubers from Click Management. I'll just do the Fortnite YouTubers since they're well known. You have Fresh. This is Australian YouTubers, by the way. Fresh, formerly Mr. Fresh Asian, Mr. Muzel, and Laserbeam. So for gameplay oriented, that obviously goes to Fresh. People hop on his stream and watch a lot of his videos to see him get like the Victoria Royales. I mean, obviously he's funny a lot of the time too, but mostly you're gonna see him like hit those shots, get like, I don't know, like 20 bombs, just take out half the map. That's why you're going to go and watch a stream. Actually, or YouTube videos. I actually don't normally watch Fortnite YouTubers, but I just thought these were popular names I could use to rate them. Okay, so you got middle of the line is the next category, kind of like funny and gameplay. Not really lean to one. I'm going to put Mr. Muzelk there because he still tries really hard, and he's pretty decent at the game. You can get some kills, but he mostly gets his popularity from a lot of meme strats. So he's just going to try to do funny things and also get the win. That's where kind of he is going to reside in. That's what he's going to try to do, or do a lot of challenges. But, he, I think, relies a lot more on humor than someone like Fresh. So lastly, obviously, for the kind of fully on humor category, that's going to go to Laserbeam. That's the only one left. But I think that was kind of pretty obvious from the beginning. He himself talks about how he's not very good at any games. I mean, he's not bad. He's probably like the level of like a normal gamer, but he's not pro or anything. So I think that he's going to rely there. You're going to go and watch him on his YouTube stream or watch his YouTube videos just to laugh. Like, that is the reason you're going to go there. And one of these categories is not better than the other. They're just different types. And I think it'll be fun if I ever bring up, a gaming YouTuber. I can just kind of clarify which one they are to give you a better idea. And that'll be fun that way. So one YouTuber / streamer I want to talk about today is a little different from the ones you might and I might normally watch. So the one I wanted to bring up is a channel who streams on Twitch and posts pretty much the VODs on YouTube, called HealthyGamerGG. Now, HealthyGamerGG is a really interesting channel. It's not really entertainment focused, but it's more, I want to say it's health focused. But basically, I'll just go over it, and then you can kind of classify it as you want. HealthyGamerGG is it's a channel run by a man, and his name is Dr. K. That's what they call him, Dr. K. And he is a Harvard-trained psychiatrist, I believe, and he has other training in different things. He's worked in different studies and things, but he basically he's trained to give therapy and help people out. So what happens is what they'll do is first it'll be on the Twitch stream where usually a YouTuber or a streamer will go on and they'll kind of have a live therapy session with things. I mean, they're not gonna delve into too many personal things. I mean, I've heard the few I've watched. I mean, they have talked about the relationship with their parents, but they mostly keep it things that the public knows, and basically they talk about what's going on, some of their insecurities, and how they can get over them. And I think the main purpose when he first started this channel was kind of to raise awareness for sometimes gamers and the mental health of them, because a lot of times gaming is used as like escapism. So he tried to raise money to help people out. Maybe people are struggling addiction to gaming and it's affecting their everyday lives, or maybe they're just very stressed out and they're kind of taking shelter in video games. But it's used to help people out, and all of it goes to charity to help people out in their mental health. And I think that's really noble that he has a day job, so he doesn't really do any of it for the profits. He just does it to help out people. And I think that's a really nice mission. I mean, it's nice to see a lot of people, it's nice to see a change up on YouTube, where a lot of it is view-based, it feels like, and trying to get people to watch, clickbait and all of that. There's a lot of drama YouTubers, and it's nice to see someone for a change just trying to help out the community that is YouTube, and help out the creators on it. And I know that you could definitely argue that gaming and being a YouTuber or streamer in general is not the most stressful job, not the hardest job, which, I mean, I wouldn't know, but it isn't. But still, there is a mental toll and a different mental toll that takes on a person, which is, it's kind of tough. I mean, a lot of times, like, you hear these YouTubers going on breaks and things because, they're stressed, which is, it's difficult and easier because you aren't on an everyday work schedule. You don't really have deadlines. You have to set your own deadlines. And there really is no one to say, hey, you're doing a good job. Like, you can rest now. There really is no rest because everybody's scared that they'll fall out of relevancy and they'll go in a second. So he talks with them. And the ones that I mainly listen to are with the two YouTubers I know, because that kind of made it more clickable for me. So I watched the one with Michael Reeves, who I've actually talked about in the last podcast. Shout out with their first episode. Go watch it. And I watched the one with Pokimane. And Pokimane I actually don't really watch on Twitch. I just it drew me in because she is such a big YouTuber, and I feel like she'd have a lot of stress. And I was like, I'm actually interested to see what's happening. And if she's willing to share it, like, what is it like to be in a powerful position like her? There, she can influence many people. So I went and I checked those out. So I think these YouTube videos are very good for two reasons. They're about like 2 hours long. Like, I think of it more as of a podcast. I've never watched one live, but I've watched the two recordings of them on YouTube. I think he streams them on YouTube first, or he streams them on Twitch first, and then he posts the VODs, which are the recordings of them, to YouTube. So the two reasons that I think, or I'll give it three. The three reasons I think that this is like a really good channel is, number one, all the proceeds, like I said, go to helping people with gaming addictions, who actually need help and are distracting themselves and ignoring their problems. And the other is you kind of get a sense, almost like a secondhand therapy. Now, I'm not saying at all that if you have problems like bad anxiety or something, that you can just watch this stream or and it all go away, or this YouTube video. But what I did kind of realize throughout of it is I realized that sometimes some of it can help you. That like I don't really have any major mental problems, but I do get stressed out sometimes, and sometimes I get a little bit of anxiety, and you're able to recognize sometimes that you're kind of feeling the problems that people have, that you kind of share them. And I mean, they're definitely not the exact circumstances, but like, for example, I didn't have this. I kind of related to some others, but Michael Reeves, he said he always had kind of a feeling of dread. And I mean, you probably have those feelings of dread for different reasons. But Dr. K, he went out and showed Michael how to get to the beginning of that dread, to kind of get to the base of it and find where it came from. And then you can also, there's two approaches you can take. If it's not that serious, you can say, let's try to figure out where this came from and kind of go at it with the knowledge that he's given you and be like, let's think back to here and do this and do this. And then the other kind of thing you can do is you can realize that you do have a serious problem with dread, and it might be really helpful to go and see someone, which I think is more powerful than you realize, because a lot of times, mentally, I think that sometimes there definitely is less of a stigma with our generation, but you can kind of have a stigma over mental health and be like, okay, this stress doesn't really matter, like everybody feels it. And then when you realize that's like, you can kind of get rid of it and live a healthier lifestyle mentally and be more happy because of it. You're like, maybe I should try some of these techniques, and if that doesn't work, I can go see someone myself. And it helped me clarify some minor things that I was feeling at the time, and I was like, okay, that kind of helps, because hearing someone else describe a problem that I was kind of having made me feel, one, more kind of validated, and two, just more felt like I could deal with it more. It didn't feel like this big problem that no one else is experiencing. I was like, okay, I feel like I can do this. I can deal with it. So I think that is one really helpful way. Again, if you're experiencing some real mental health issues, don't just do the secondhand therapy, go and see someone. But I think that's a kind of a helpful aspect to it. Now, the second reason or the third, I guess, we're on at this point, that I feel like the YouTube videos are really good is they shed a good light on creators. Because sometimes when you see these people over the internet, they don't really seem human. Not in the way that they're not actual humans, like they're aliens, but like in a way that like, okay, this person is just like, a character. But they're actually, in reality, these creators are the real people. So there's a lot of toxicity that goes around in YouTube and gaming and all of that. So when you kind of think, hey, like, this person is actually experiencing some anxiety and stress in your job, I think, I personally was never toxic, but I think that some people may think twice before, typing that one tiny insult that they don't think is that important, or being just hating. And you're like, okay, now I'm going to be honest. I'm going to be fully honest here. I kind of got on the bandwagon of finding Pokemon annoying. I didn't even watch her, but I was like, oh, okay, like, people call her the queen of the simps and all of that. I'm like, wow, like, why is she getting all this money? And then she kind of went on, and she talked about how she got to the place she did, and how stressful it was, and kind of the mental effect of keeping this job that can be unstable up, and the expectations of the people around her, and trying to keep everybody who she employs, because I think she's an editor and a manager, to keep their jobs. And you're like, wow, like, man, maybe like I gotta cut her some more slack. And it really gave me a different view on her. And I still don't know if I'd be the crowd drawn to her streams, which is fine. But I now look at her, I think, like, good for her on things and some stuff like that. And, it really just changed my perspective in a positive way. And you're like, wow, these people are real humans. Like, they're not just some actor playing a character. When you say insults to them, like, I feel like it's almost more personal from an actor because you grew your community. You slowly grow it. So if you have people literally making fun of you, constantly, even if you can brush it off, it still kind of lingers, I feel like. And that's kind of what I got from them. And they really do try as hard as they can in these jobs. And again, I'm not saying YouTube is the hardest job, but I'm just saying they kill themselves to make content for you. That's free. You don't have to you don't pay money to watch YouTube, or in like Pokemon's case, you don't have to subscribe and be a tier 3 sub, but you're like, oh wow. I gained a brand new respect. And I just thought that was a really good channel to highlight because I felt like it was doing a lot of positive things. And I do have some more fun channels to highlight, but I felt like that one deserved it, so I wanted to do it. And before I go, I just want to say, I may do some news things on here occasionally. Like one time, I think on my other podcast, I talked about the offline TV drama that went on. And that was more just my feelings on it because I was really attached to their channel at that point. So it kind of affected me in a way. But I just want to say, I really don't want to become one of those drama channels that kind of, there's the hard way to phrase it, they kind of encourage toxicity almost, encourage beef because that's their livelihood. They're basically like tabloids. And no, I'm not going to name anyone who does it because then I'd be the antithesis and be a hypocrite of what I was saying because I'd be technically starting drama and trying to keep it going. So I'm not going to say who I'm thinking of. But I just want to kind of keep more of a positive vibe here. And maybe I'll report news sometimes, like, I don't know, like Jacksepticeye, he's taking a break, which is very late news, but stuff like that. I'm not going to say, guess what? Who's popular? David Dobrik took down these 2 videos of a smaller creator and is now trying to get them banned. Like, I don't want to be that person. So, I think that's going to be it for, today's episode of, YouTube with the Boys. I think I'm going to keep these, relatively short in, in comparison to the ones with my friends. But, I don't know how you get in contact with, me. I guess I can just tell you, the email for, this, podcast, and then I can have you, send any channels you want me to look over to there, because, that could work. So I'll tell you that right now. The email for this podcast is yt.with.the.boys.podcast@gmail.com. I'll repeat that, yt.with.the.boys.podcast@gmail.com. If you have any channels you want to look over, just send them, and I'll watch them, or I'll do a segment on them, or I'll tell you my opinion about them. But thank you for listening. I think that's gonna be all today. Thank you for listening again. I hope this podcast can grow into something really fun because it's a topic I really enjoy. Goodbye.